Most people don't hold on to the past because they love it. They hold on to it because it gives them an excuse, an explanation, a story they can repeat to themselves when life doesn't move forward. I know this because I did the same thing for years, telling myself that certain moments define me, that certain mistakes explained everything that came after. We like to say the past hurt us, but that's rarely the full truth. What actually hurts is realizing that the past is over, and we're still standing here, unchanged, carrying it like proof that our life makes sense. Some people don't really want healing, they want justification. They want a sentence they can point to and say, "I'm like this because of what happened." Because if that sentence disappears, responsibility takes its place, and responsibility is heavier than pain. I once knew someone who blamed one failed relationship for everything in his life. His anger, his isolation, his lack of ambition all traced back to that one moment. 10 years later, he was still telling the same story, not because it still hurt, but because it explained why he never tried again. That's the part we don't like to admit. Sometimes the past isn't a wound anymore, it's a shield. We hide behind old mistakes, old trauma, old versions of ourselves because moving on means stepping into uncertainty. And uncertainty doesn't come with a script. The uncomfortable truth is this: the past doesn't control you, your loyalty to it does. As long as you keep defending it, it keeps defining you. For a long time, I replayed moments in my head like a courtroom drama. I rewrote conversations, corrected decisions, imagined smarter and braver versions of myself, as if the right amount of regret would unlock a different ending. It never did. All it did was keep me mentally trapped in a time that no longer existed. Reflection matters, learning matters, but there's a thin line between learning and self-punishment, and most people cross it without noticing. Here's a simple rule I learned. If thinking about the past doesn't lead to a clear action in the present, it's not wisdom, it's noise. If a memory doesn't change how you live today, it's just another way to stay stuck. Letting go of the past often means letting go of who you thought you were supposed to be. The version of you with unlimited potential, the version who almost made it, the version who would have succeeded if things were different. Mourning that person feels like losing a future that never happened, and that grief is real. But holding on to it quietly poisons the present. I once worked with a woman who was incredibly talented, sharp and creative, yet every conversation ended the same way. She would say, "I was supposed to be more than this. Not I am, but I was supposed to be." She wasn't stuck because she failed, she was stuck because she refused to update her identity. No one tells you this, but your self-image has an expiration date, and if you don't update it, it turns into a prison. Letting go doesn't mean pretending the past didn't shape you. It means refusing to let it define your limits. This isn't about forced positivity or pretending everything is fine. Some chapters never get closure, some answers never come. But if you keep reopening the same memory without changing how you live, you're not healing, you're rehearsing. Rehearsing sadness, rehearsing resentment, rehearsing an identity that feels familiar even when it hurts. Comfort is dangerous like that. One of the hardest realizations for me was understanding that no one was coming to release me from my past. No apology, no explanation, no final conversation. Just me deciding whether I would carry it another year. That's when things shifted. I stopped asking why it happened to me and started asking why I kept choosing the same story. That question hurts more, but it moves you forward. Another small shift that helped was changing how I spoke about myself. I stopped using old labels, stopped defining myself by what went wrong. Language shapes identity more than motivation ever will. Speak about yourself like someone who is still in progress, not someone permanently damaged. You are not behind in life, you are just distracted by a version of it that no longer exists. Letting go of the past isn't dramatic. It doesn't come with music or sudden clarity. It's quiet. It's realizing one day that you didn't think about that thing at all. And instead of relief, you feel space. Space to try again, space to fail differently, space to be unknown. That space is uncomfortable because now there's no excuse. But it's honest. I don't trust people who say they've completely healed. I trust people who've stopped using their wounds as an identity. The past will always be part of you, but it doesn't deserve the steering wheel. If you keep carrying the past, make sure it's teaching you something useful. If it's not, put it down. Not because you're strong, not because you're healed, but because your life deserves to be lived in the present, not endlessly explained by the past. And maybe that's what letting go really means.